This is Minecraft's hardest escape room, and I'm gonna try to escape it. It's filled with puzzles, mazes, and plenty of other things that seem impossible. Can I escape it? Let's find out. As soon as I spawned in, I noticed a couple things. There was Skulk, a campfire, a copper chest, a strange room in the sky, and some sort of honeycomb structure. I searched in the honeycomb, and I didn't really see anything until I decided to check out the campfire, which the smoke looked like it was blocking something. I contemplated breaking it and getting some charcoal. But then I saw it. A ladder hidden amongst the smoke. Then I went to the copper chest, found a full suit of copper armor, excluding a helmet, 2 potions of water breathing for 3 minutes, a light block level 0, and an arrow. Without really any other option, I decided to just go break the skulk and get some XP, and then once I broke the bottom layer, I saw a pool of water with a nautilus and a saddle. The only thing I could think of doing was jumping out of the water with the nautilus and almost killing it, might I add, putting it on 1 heart, giving it a splash potion of water breathing, and then breaking the copper chest, exposing the tunnel. I broke the campfire, having no real purpose for it, and then made my way into the maze. Well, I struggled a little bit, but finally I got in. It took almost 2 minutes, and I'm not going to bore you with the entire thing, but basically in dispensers I found blaze powder and gunpowder, and then made my way into a room with a nether portal. From there, I put my nautilus back into this other pool, broke some carpets, made a fire charge, lit the nether portal, and was off to the nether. When I had gotten in there, what I realized was there was a chest behind the nether portal that I couldn't open. So instead, I just decided to break it, and what I found inside was much needed food and a pickaxe with maybe 1 durability and silk touch. Then I turned my attention to the other thing in the room, which was a furnace, and I knew exactly what I needed to do with it. So I took off my armor, went back to the overworld to take off the Nautilus's armor, threw in all the pieces of copper armor and charcoal, and smelted it into 4 copper nuggets. Then I exited the furnace. I was about to exit the nether, but I realized that there was a trader llama spawn egg that most likely came from the ceiling once I activated the furnace. Went back to the overworld, splashed water breathing on my nautilus, took him back to the first room, removed the saddle, and pushed him back into the pool of water. And then finally towered up and out of the first room. But I was short a whole block and I had no idea what to do. And then finally I got a light bulb. Well, at least I held one. I tried placing the light block and then putting a carpet on the block above it, and sure enough, it will support it, which will give me the extra block of space that I need to tower up and out of room number 1. Then I entered yet another maze, and I used F5, which didn't help too much, but it was eventually enough to escape the maze. And brings me into the next room, which had some kind of cage, a target block, and a makeshift tree, and a dispenser. Assumptions can be dangerous, but I was pretty certain that hitting the target would activate the dispenser. So I broke parts of the makeshift tree, just like chopping down a normal tree, and there was an oak log sitting in the center. From there, I broke the rest of the stump, and there was even makeshift dirt underneath it with a dripstone block, and the dripstone block had absolutely nothing underneath it. Then I crafted my oak log into 4 planks, and I was officially able to escape room number 2 by carving out parts of the tree and parkouring all the way to the top. Once I got into the next room, I saw a bunch of glass and a copper chest with another copper nugget. But wait, there was still something to do in the previous room, which was to hit the target. And I knew just what to do was placing the trader llama in the pen, punching him to get him mad, and then deflecting his spit onto the target, which in my time took an unfathomable amount of time, and it was just so hard, but I eventually hit the target and didn't even realize I had a bow. So, once I finally realized I had a bow named Subscribe, which is something that you should definitely do, I killed the trader llama, and finally escaped room number 2. Once I got back in there, I opened the copper chest, but I had realized I already got a copper nugget out of it, started to break it, and then I realized that I could just jump over it. I then started breaking glass and really had no idea what I was doing. So I decided to just build this little staircase to the top, and I could clearly go to the next room, but then I realized something in the far side, that there was a black stained glass. Or at least that's what you're supposed to think. It was a tinted glass, which you can mine and obtain with your bare hands. I then mined around and broke about every other black stained glass block that I could, just in case any of them were tinted glass. None of them were, so I just ventured off into the next room, and on the hallway there I could jump, and I found a chest with copper nuggets. But I needed a block to get into the next room, but luckily tinted glass does the trick. I then crafted 9 of my nuggets into an ingot, and checked my crafting recipes and made a copper chain. Then I broke the crafting table and carried it over to the hole, used the copper chain as one extra block of leverage, and went into an entrance with nothing. I broke my crafting table thinking I just messed up royally, went back to where the crafting table was originally placed, and I saw a tattered elytra in an item frame tucked into the wall. I then got next to a huge gap of lava. I opened a dispenser and saw a bunch of salmon. I then went back into the room to double check for anything, and I noticed a blue ice on the ceiling, and this was the moment to use my pickaxe. Now I just needed to cross this gap, and in order to do that, I needed to place my crafting table, place an item frame on the side of it, and use the blue ice on an inverted placing trick to place it 1 block forward and jump into the next room. Which is where I found a bamboo sign that said, 64 buttons kill you, 1 lets you escape. After having absolutely no idea what to do, I walked into the room and there was a bunch of glass with pressure plates below it. There was some weird powdered snow with the red and white wool behind it, which I did not really know what it meant. But after running around for about a minute straight, I finally thought that maybe I could shoot my infinity flame bow at the powdered snow and melt it, and sure enough, it works. Now I need to shoot all the powdered snow until I figure out which one doesn't melt, and then step on the pressure plate that aligns with that. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so hard. Eventually, I found one that didn't melt, but I made sure to try to melt all the other ones just to make sure. It was the only one remaining, so I broke the glass and threw steak on the pressure plate, and right after that, I died. Just kidding, but I did get jump scared by this drop. I did not think I got it right. In this last room, there were end portal frames and a button that set the time to 42,000, or just midnight. There was a small staircase which had a bed, a block, an anvil, and underneath the block was a firework rocket. I had an elytra, so I needed a phantom membrane to repair it in the anvil, but I had no idea how to get a phantom membrane. I even tried to check if this was any kind of Morse code message on these eyes, but it just translates to TE, and I really had no idea what that could mean. But I did find a second firework rocket up in an item frame above the lava, and then I walked into a room with a pale oak door that was named Cat House. And what was inside it? You guessed it, a cat. I tamed the cat using the stack and 62 salmon that I had, broke a part of his cage, and honestly knew exactly what to do. I moved the bed closer to the cat and slept hoping the cat would give me a gift. Specifically, a phantom membrane. But I woke up and the cat gave me absolutely nothing, so I just pushed the button again and did this process over and over and over. I got all kinds of things: string, rotten flesh, rabbit's foot, 3 of them actually, feathers, rabbit hide, chicken, all kinds of things. But then I decided to just move the bed closer to the button so I could stop having to run around, and I woke up that morning and was blessed from the heavens as my cat gave me a phantom membrane, and I was able to repair my elytra and gracefully fly out of this place. And just like that, I had escaped this escape room. Please consider subscribing and getting me to 700 subscribers. This escape room took so long to edit, so long to be prepared, and so long for me to finish. So I hope you can follow the advice of the bow, and I'll see you next time.